everyone, my name is Iping and my lecture number is 24005987. So now I'm currently a second year biomedical engineering student. So in my field of the study, we focus on the intersection of the medicine and the technology. We design the medical device, analyze the biomechanics, and also work with the various biomaterials to improve the human health and mobility. So because my work deals very heavily with the physical materials and also the electronics that we use in the healthcare, so we also spend a lot of time thinking how the things we create, we consume, and locally end up affecting the world at the large effect. So today, I want to discuss the profound impact that our individual actions have on the global community. The question is, how do I understand the impact of individual actions on the global community? As an engineering student, I view an individual's action as the first domino in a very long global chain. It's very easy to think about that our daily choice, like the products we buy, how much electricity we want to use, or how we dispose the waste, are all the isolated events. But when we live in a deeply interconnected global supply chain, and when you choose to recycle, to converse and think about when you want to buy a single-use plastics or something that can make the pollution, those are the individual actions that can dictate the global manufacturing demands. That means it can influence the carbon emissions and also ultimately impact the climate and also the resource that's shared by 8 billion people on the same planet, which is our Mother Earth. Another great question. Is the lack of the awareness regarding our individual actions a global issue? And my answer is absolutely yes. Let me give you an example for my own field in the biomedical engineering. Now we are constantly upgrading the device based on the technology and the availability. And for instance, we are moving away from the simple conventional thermoplastic orthotics like an ankle foot orthotics, which is the AFO we say. And we are upgrading them into the smart device by adding microcontrollers, pressure sensors, and lithium batteries. All of them needs the consumption of the pollution sources. So if the consumers, even us, the engineers, that lack of the awareness about what happens to these components at the end of their life cycle, then simply throw away in the trash, the lack of the awareness in one local household will directly contribute to the big, massive worldwide e-waste crisis. So we know that our local ignorance becomes someone else's global hazard in the future. Then, to examine the true seriousness of this lack of awareness, we only need to look at the experts' consensus. According to the World Health Organization, which is the WHO, the improper disposal of electronic and medical waste pose severe environmental and health risks in the worldwide. So the WHO notes that the e-waste often contains the hazardous substances like lead, and mercury. So when the individual unknowingly throw these items away simply, they are often shipped to developing nations. So therefore, the informal recycling process releases the toxic fumes into the air and also leach the heavy metals into the global water supply. So from my perspective, as a biomedical engineering student, this is a very tragic irony. The very technologies and materials we design to heal people locally are harming global communities because of a simple lack of awareness regarding to the disposal. Now we are done about the problem statements. So how do we actually measure the impact of our individual actions on the community? In engineering, we use a framework called life cycle assessment, which is LCA. We apply this on our daily life and also when we need to invent the new product and the new technology on our device. So we measure our impact by looking at our personal carbon footprint, which is we can calculate the exact metric tons of the greenhouse gases generated by the daily travel, electricity use, and also the consumption habits by using the calculators and also the formulas. We can also measure it through the waste audits by physically tracking the volume of non-biodegradable waste and electronic which an individual sends to a landfill in a given month. Then we get a highly accurate measurable data point of their negative global impact. So because of this such a serious issue, the education is a key and it has to start at home, which is from the young state. If I were to need to educate my younger siblings about this, I would use two specific methods. So firstly, I will use the visual storytelling. So young people learn best by seeing so that they can have a best experience on the studying periods. So I will show them an interactive map or a short documentary that tracks the physical journey of the single piece of plastic or something like a trash, so that they can know what happened and the importance of the disposal methods. And secondly, the gamified habit building. I will set up a dedicated recycling station in our home with clear and also coded with colors so that it make them have the interest to start their habit to recycle the waste. And also I can teach them that the managing global resources start with our own kitchen. Then we can make it for the global. In a conclusion, my advice to any particular individual, especially my fellow engineering students, is to design, consume with the end in the mind. Every object you buy, build, or throw away has its own global footprint. My message to the world is the true innovation is not just about creating new things, but we need to make sure that we have the responsibility on the things that we create, we invent, and also we consume it. Let's make sure that our individual choice are engineering a healthier world for everyone. Thank you.